Hey there, Steve Rubis with Matt and Solomon of Capital Markets Investor Relations in 2 minutes or less. Today we're going to talk about how KPIs make you better. And key performance indicators, or KPIs, are important because they give you a pulse on the business and what's important. In our case, you need to know what the top 8 sell-side KPIs are and the top 7 investor relations KPIs are, because knowing these metrics is going to make you smarter and able to solve the 3 most common problems for a public company. And this is valuation, engagement, and coverage. And really, how do you solve those 3 issues? Well, there's 5 variables that every company can use, whether big, small, flatlined, or not, to re-engage investors and fix their stock price. And the first is the idea of catalysts. The more catalysts you have, the more reasons there are for investors to engage, more checkpoints to change the valuation of the company, and more of a reason to have a natural flow of discussion among sales forces, research analysts, investors, and PMs. And related to this is this idea of volatility. The more catalysts you have, the more volatility there's going to be in the stock, and the more trading you're going to get, and volumes will increase over time. This is how you get a flatlining stock to start working again over time. The third piece here are events, and this is one of the most important currencies for a management team. If you don't have catalysts and you don't have volatility, an analyst isn't going to invite you on an NDR, and they're not going to bring you to conferences because no one wants to meet with you. If you have catalysts, you have reasons for investors to meet with you, and giving an analyst an NDR or going to his or her conference drives immense value for them and creates a strong and sticky relationship with that analyst who is your salesman for your stock. Next are industry insights, and management teams overlook this one because they're reticent to talk about competitors. But if you can provide thoughtful insights on the supply chain, the industry, innovation in the industry, investors will always engage with you, and over time that will translate into the stock price. The last one are transactions, or investment banking transactions, the most powerful variable, but it's the most short-term impact in nature. And the reason is that you can do a secondary, you can do an IPO, but if you don't have catalysts or volatility or events as you move forward, you're not going to sustain the positive impacts of that banking transaction. And if you did get coverage to that transaction, if you don't have those events and catalysts, at some point the analysts are going to stop covering you. So remember, if you have catalysts and volatility, they're your friend when you're trying to fix your stock price. Thanks for watching. Always here to help you with your capital markets, investor relations, and corporate finance needs.